We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Hi everybody, we're into action here in the Swift Current Curling Club for the Sasktel Curling Stadium, RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. We have two very top teams here with Jentsch, the Germany team, playing against Ackland, and both are in the B division right now, so definitely wanting to secure a win so that they don't drop down to the dreaded C where things get very tough and go from there. We're also, my name is Jeff Chambers from the Swift Current Curling Club here, and joined along with Clayton Wicks. Clayton, are you out there?
I'm out here, Jeff. Good afternoon, everybody.
All right, so Clayton's on site there, so he's getting to check the action right up tight. Looks like we got a lot of rocks in play for the first end here, Clayton. Normally we see typically clean ends, but looks like that both teams are ready to get at it here.
Yep, they started going at it right away.
So many viewers out there will also notice, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, but the German team is missing one of their players. So their second, Mia Hohn, she is doing some studying and exams with school, so she was unable to travel with the team. So the girls have been just playing three, and I can tell you, Annalena there is getting a little tired because what a job. Sweeping one side, basically you're sweeping both sides of the rock, you're maneuvering back and forth, and takes a toll on the body. I know, Clayton, that you're in the other end calling the game, so you don't know much about that sweeping thing for us guys, but I tell you what, it's pretty tiring, as you can see.
Yeah, especially the ice the way it is. It's been it's really nice and keen, so they're sweeping for a long time.
Absolutely, a lot of rocks. So looks like Ackland's sitting pretty good there. A couple in the house just off center, so they're going to try to keep this this adrenaline going. We're looking like Danny's asking for a little bit of a hit and roll here. Just try to move things around and see where they get to. And speaking of the ice conditions, Clayton, as you've been watching the games and being out on that ice, there's been a lot of talk about how solid the ice conditions have been and consistent and some good shot making. I haven't heard of any bad spots in the ice, and the teams are really enjoying it, and that's why we're seeing a lot of great shots. Anything that you've noticed from the games you've been watching?
No, it's been real good, and I know they did some work with the rocks on the weekend, and we curled here on Tuesday night, and we didn't see anything drastic. Everything was quite predictable.
Yes, we had a pretty big event. A lot of these teams competed last weekend here, and in between events, they did paper the rocks a little bit to try to get some more action on them, and they're definitely not over jumping by any means, but they just have nice solid curl, and it seems like the teams have been able to maneuver the rocks around nicely and get them hidden when needed. This one looks like it's a little outside and needs to move a little, so you'll see them sweeping it in for the curvature, so the outside person will jump in behind the rock, trying to get that to curl a little bit more. And that throw was by Swift Current's own Kelly Schaefer. Previously, many people would know her as Kelly Wood. She played for Eve Muirhead for many years and very successful. They were here in 2010 competing in the Women's Worlds. And Kelly managed to stick around and stay ever since. So she's married now and family here in Swift Current, and we're delighted to have her. She's just filling in for let me see, sorry, the name was Caitlin Jones, the third for Team Ackland, wasn't able to make it, so they asked Kelly to play. So Kelly's filling in that third role, and so far doing an outstanding job. She's a top-level curler, so it was a pretty good pickup for this Ackland team.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good pickup for the Swift Current Curling Club too, having Kelly in town.
Absolutely, her experience speaks for itself, and just to have someone like that in the community, with her and Chris Eichert. Chris Eichert's doing a great job, the general manager at the Swift Current Curling Club, and getting big events like this. And huge thanks, obviously, to the Sasktel Curling Stadium. Curling Stadium's been just an absolute blessing to have. Attracts viewing audiences from all over the world to be able to watch their favorite teams every time that they go out and play. So just a huge thank you to them, and Chris lined that up with them, saw the future that it would be a lot brighter with them, and here we are.
And you can definitely tell by all the sponsorship signs on the ice and on the walls.
Absolutely, it definitely helps to get them out there. So slight bit of a miss there, so Danny wants to take advantage of that, so she's going to lay it down. Em's going to hold the broom for her. This didn't take them very long to decide what they want to do. They're going to put up what I call the Christmas tree look. So basically they want to throw one in there so that they show kind of half a stone of each, so that the other team can't make a full shot onto theirs. So let's see how we look here. Annalina's giving her a little bit of information on the speed right now and what she wants to see out of her hand for a time, and Danny's going to settle into the hack and go through her routine and most likely throw a very solid shot here. Looks like they're pretty happy with it out of the hands. They're going to give it a little brush to hold it or help it run. Em's coming out to help, so this is looking pretty good. She's going to help get it every little inch. This is where having that other super sure would help, and you can see that's a good solid half of a Christmas tree right there. So
yeah, there it is for sure.
There's a perfect example of what I was mentioning as a strategy that teams will use, and it makes it very, very difficult to get obviously to the nose. And anytime you're not getting to the nose or under, you're going to leave your shooter exposed. So definitely a solid shot there, and that'll definitely get the two thinking. As you can see, we have Abby and Kelly. They're thinking pretty hard right now on how they're going to maneuver this last stone to try to protect from the deuce.
Contemplating the freeze on the back one.
Yes, and I think that's what they're going to go. So this is a very aggressive call. You would definitely see most teams go up and hit the one in the 8 foot to be safe. Try to get as much as you could, about 3/4 of it, roll over and make that takeout a little bit hard for the opposing team. But this is a very, very aggressive call here to call the corner freeze on this one.
Yeah, if she doesn't make it really well, it does open up the opportunity for 3.
Yeah. Definitely a risk that you don't see very often in definitely the first end. So somewhat of a gambling move here, and we'll see if it pays off for the girls. They won't be able to afford a bounce off, so this has to be pretty much perfect.
So looks like it's a little light and over curl, yeah.
It's over curling on them, so a little mistake early here to open the door for Team Germany. So they're going to stay on the same side there and draw up, and they just have to get anywhere full 8 foot, and that's a 3 to start the game. So huge opportunity right off the bat for Danny and Team Germany here. Another shout out to our ice makers out there. Jason Broughton just does a fantastic job, and he treats us here always to great ice, but they put the little bit extra love into it, and these curlers from all around the world are just enjoying the great ice conditions that are in the club. So they're used to great ice conditions out in the arenas, of course, all the time, but when they go into the clubs for different events, you're never sure what you're going to quite get. And but here it's just fabulous ice surface, been very consistent, and then you see these kind of shots where they draw in there right to the pin and take a solid 3 to get this going. So we're going to go to commercial break now, and we'll see you in the next end. Pay attention to those commercials. That's our great sponsors helping out.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and supporter of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
Sasktel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? Sasktel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
So the first call there, Jeff, was to put one in the house, and now they'll put up their corner guard, and the game is on again.
Absolutely. So Team Jentsch scored a big, lively 3 in the first end to open things up. Decided to go in, as we'll normally see. Now they'll be looking at that a tight guard for that one, and Team Ackland put up the corner, and they're going to try real hard in the even ends to generate some points back, and they'll be very patient. They won't be getting ahead of themselves or taking unnecessary risks. I don't imagine this end. They'll be looking at just getting the deuce and moving on from there. And if things happen better, then away we go. But that'll be the game plan here, is just try to go for the deuce. And but I can assure you, Team Jentsch wants none of that. So they're going to be putting their rocks into play to make it difficult for them.
What's your prediction next shot, Jeff? Corner on the other side or a go around?
I think there'll be probably a go around the corner. Yeah, there, she put it down there pretty quick. So it's a pretty early to throw up the double guards, and some would say to come around the middle, but those angles aren't great the way they're cut off there. So the easiest shot is to go behind the corner and see where it goes from there. We'll probably It'll be interesting to see how Danny reacts if they place a nice corner here, because with the free guard zone, they're unable to take out that front guard. So you want to get this buried so that you can't get access to this rock. But this one's holding on them. Making a little bit of a move now, but might show half that Daniela will go after this one. And she can see half, so I'd assume they will. Yep, that's going to be the call. So just a little bit about how these teams got to this position. Team Ackland started out, they beat Korea's team Singwon Ha, and then the second game they had an amazing game against one of the favorites, Silvana Tiranzoni. The skipper made a beautiful run back on her last shot of the game to win that, so that was an exciting part. And then they came up against Clancy Grandy, who's in the A semi, and lost there, so that's why they dropped into the B event. Team Jentsch beat Lisa Parent in the first game, then lost to Nancy Martin. And then they had a great game this morning where they managed to beat Ashley Howard, and this is where they sit now. So both teams are working real hard to try to win that spot to stay in the B event instead of dropping to the C. And that winner will play tomorrow at 12:30. Well, Clayton, maybe they're going for, I didn't see the call, but I'm assuming they're going for a little bit of hit and roll towards the middle with this one.
Yeah, I think the last shot was a little bit soft, so it just stuck where the other one was. They're definitely going for the hit and roll behind the two reds.
Well, this is moving on them, so they might go to a plan B here. No, we're going to actually rack on the front, so this is really going to change things up. Good news is they got a little corner on the other side, so, but that's leaving a lot of red rocks in the control zone for Team Jentsch, so looks like she wants to add one more into the action. So she's having a discussion right now with the team. I know it looks really good, but she's already planning ahead. It's kind of like a chess game. So she's worried that they're going to come down exactly there and hit that red one and hide in between those two reds. So she's thinking about putting one in the way, or actually she might make that move first, where she's going to actually use her own and see if she can chip off that one and just roll over, thus putting the other red one back into the corner a bit, just to get out of the way. So just trying to avoid the opposition making the big shot on her. Annalina's putting a light sweep on this one. It's starting to move now. Looks like she's got a really good one coming in here. If it's got enough weight, it might die off on her a little bit, which it did. So then it just slightly over curled. Still a great shot. Anytime you're sitting three in the house, it's not a bad thing, especially when they're all above the tee line.
And they still have that one tight to the house for a guard for later on as well.
Absolutely, sitting in great shape. So Team Ackland's going to try to get in there. I'm looking at the ice here, and it doesn't look like a lot of ice for a draw freeze. So they might be trying to do a little bit of tap back and try to get to the inside of this one. Kelly's hard on the sweep. It's really breaking on them. That's two in a row that they kind of lost, where they didn't sweep quite early. So not sure if it's a communication issue or it's just not seeing that it's going to break in time, because both times they could have been on that a little bit sooner before the breaking point to hold it. So they'll have a little discussion about that and make sure that they can try to avoid that mistake in the future. Amir is up to shoot now. She goes by M, but if she can put one just, I would say biting the top 12 here, or even the top 8, she's going to leave a very, very difficult shot and tough to get in. So you can she jumped right into her own shot there to help with the sweep. So she might have felt she was a little light out of the hand because she wasted no time jumping up. I thought that was a mixed doubles event all of a sudden, the way she jumped up there to start sweeping. So she knew she was light right out of the, as soon as she let it go. So she made sure she jumped up there to give Annalena the best chance they had to get the rock into play. So
we might see some, sorry, Jeff.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead, Clayton.
We might see some granite flying here shortly.
Yeah, they have a couple choices here, but most likely they're going to try to get. They do see the one in the 8 foot, so they probably would try to get the hit and roll. But looks like they're gonna run this back and try to double it out, even though they could sneak in there. But getting the second point would be really difficult with that one touching the edge of the button. So here Kelly's throwing it down, following it down. She's eyeing this up real close. Move some things around. The good news is it's open on both sides, so Danny can't cover both sides up. So they're most likely they'll try to come in unless they decide they can maybe come down and tap that front guard and basically split a couple rocks to cover them. But she might be looking at just purely bringing one right back into the top of the button there behind those guards.
Yeah, they're on T-line or slightly behind, so she does have the opportunity to tap them a little bit.
Absolutely. I think we would see a few teams even look at out front there, reshuffling those guards a little bit, because with a couple angles you could actually take both shots away, but that would take a pretty precise shot. So she's deciding she's going to bring another one in and make sure that Abby's looking at 3 of them in the 4 foot. And see what happens. Looks like it's quite a ways out there. So she's going to want this to really start to sling. You can see they're willpowering and they're not touching it, so she's got the weight to get there. A little bit of a miss there, a little heavy and a little wide. So that's going to open up the opportunity for a hit and roll and get a yellow one in there. So Kelly will be excited right now. She's got an opportunity for this shot, and let's see if she can throw a nice one down there.
Nice little pocket for a catcher.
That's right. I think they were looking for a control weight or house, and Clayton will get your opinion on this after this shot, but different teams call it different things with weight control. But whatever weight it was, it looks to be just absolutely perfect. So great shot. The local fans upstairs will be going crazy over that one. Beautiful hit and roll to get them out of that end. And now all of a sudden it turns from offense to defense. And Danny and Em are discussing how are we going to get another one in there to avoid giving 2 right back.
And that's how quick it happens.
Absolutely. The beautiful roll in, the angle freeze. So even though you can see part of that yellow rock on that side, that yellow rock is not leaving without taking 2 reds with it. So it's a dangerous spot, and Danny realizes that. So she knows she's got to get another one in there and try to cause a little bit of havoc. So she's got the broom out just close to the edge of the 8 foot. So it looks like it's a straight draw to the button here, and we'll see how the team makes out. Annalena's cleaning that surface, making sure it's a nice clean surface. It's a job done by a lot of the front ends that you'll see as they clean up all in front of the hog line. Unfortunately for poor Annalena, she's doing it all by herself this weekend.
Pretty
Clayton,
sure she's not. I'm
sorry,
pretty
Clayton,
sure she's.
yeah, go ahead, Clayton.
I'm pretty sure she's not trying to get shot rock here. She's probably just trying to make it very difficult not to give up the deuce.
No, for sure. She'll be looking at right at top button here, trying to make it difficult. Have you got any times? You heard what they're doing with the times?
I haven't.
I assume it's around 15-second ice for the curlers. Nice speed. So absolutely terrific weight. She's definitely going to wish that she could have got that to curl up a little bit more. But still a great shot. She has to contend with it. To get to the inside of this and to get to second shot, she would have to throw just beautiful T-line weight, and it would have to really curl. But with this ice, it looks like more of a hit here, Clayton. So
yeah,
looks like they're trying to double out the back.
Yeah, I don't. And she might be more trying to set up for her last shot.
Yeah, it looks that way. So again, every team has its strategy, whether it wants to do it now or later, but there's always a plan. It's kind of like a chess game. And here a lot of teams would take advantage of this and just try to do a little, maybe a draw in right through that hole. I know it doesn't look like much, but there would be room to get to shot rock. But she's going to choose to hit this, open it up a little bit, and count on her last one to try to get her deuce.
Yeah, even if she rolled a quarter buried, it would leave her an angle shot with her last one.
They're on this pretty hard. Kelly's yelling, motivating. Looks like she's going to get to the nose. Solid double. So now all of a sudden it gets pretty scary when you're looking at, if you're the German team, you see 3 yellow rocks right there. So they're going to try to figure out how to get a rock in there to make sure that they can cut the end down. So they're looking at 2 choices. If they hit and stick there, to me, that's a pretty safe shot, and all they're leaving is that out-turn draw, Clayton. As you can see, that would be pretty hard to get to second shot with the out-turn draw if they manage to hit and stick this one.
Yeah, the only other option could possibly be an in-off, but I don't know if they could throw it hard enough.
Yes, on the outside there, for sure.
Yeah.
And I know they looked at it, so we'll see what happens here. Again, I guess we can't get too ahead of ourselves. We're not in this chess match, but there's a lot of scenarios that could definitely happen here. So we'll see what she gives us. And go through her routine here and give a good shot. It's what you'll see from a lot of the curlers out here. Once they get into their position, they go through their routine, and very repeatable. All right, not jumping it so far, which typically means it's a little on the outside. So Annalena jumped over to try to get it to curl a little bit more. Oh dear. All right, so not the end of the world there, but definitely changed some things up.
Yeah, it could have been. I don't know if it could have been worse, but yeah, it definitely made this last shot a lot easier for her too.
Yeah, so now she's so Team Ackland, she was planning on that last shot, hoping she'd have an easy shot for a second, and I'm pretty sure that this is easier than she thought she'd have, for sure, to have a draw. I'm pretty sure she thought she'd have a little in-off or something like that. So she'd be pretty happy right now, and the sweepers will get ready to put this right on the tee line and bounce back with their deuce, and mission accomplished. All right, the girls jumped it early, and Clayton, you know that's a sign. Oh no, they've backed away from it. So when the sweepers are on it and their sweepers are off it, you know it's darn close. So by the looks of it, they're just going to watch this come in and quick tidy up. And according to their reactions, this should be pretty darn good, which it is. So bounce back deuce by Team Ackland, and we'll see you right after commercial.
just got our shipment of logos here in for our next event, which is going to be the mixed doubles. As you can see, there's a few of them. There's roughly 20 logos per sheet to be put in for the mixed doubles, along with a couple extra little dots. But all our logos come from Jet Ice. They are the best logos to put in. We use them around the world, and they're very easy to install. As you can tell, this is the center ice logo that's going to be going in for the world. This is about a 4-footer by 10. It's going to look like $1 million. Their colors on their logos are always nice and vibrant. And like I said before, very easy to put in.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
All right, we're back in action, and you can see by the scoreboard that Abby Ackland made a nice draw and put it right on the tee line and scored her deuce right back after losing 3 in the first end. So we are 3-2 for the Germany team, and now they have hammers. So we've got action, we've got a guard out front. They decided to come behind, and now we see the typical freeze onto that. So
I got a time on sheet 1, Jeff, and it was 14:8.
okay, so yeah, pretty good guess at 15 seconds they'd be pretty close to. So some great ice conditions. The weather outside has been tremendous here in Swift Current. We got beautiful weather outside, so we haven't been suffering from any kind of frost or moisture issues. So the ice surface has been fantastic right from the first end, and from what I've seen right to the 8th end and extra ends, staying very consistent, not really backing up like you'll see in a lot of places, but it's just a fantastic ice surface, and so far the girls are really enjoying it, and that's why we're seeing so many good quality shots out here.
That stone that was just thrown on our sheet was 15-2.
There we go. So yeah, beautiful speed, not too fast, but yet just nice and controlled. Very effective for the sweepers. So when you got a good sweeping team, big advantage out there. Poor Germany's just using one sweeper, so we're probably going to see the girls jumping up and helping each other a little bit. As mentioned earlier, the one player just couldn't make it with some school work that just couldn't be avoided. So, but we'll be, I believe, joining them for the next slam.
And that 15-2 isn't really the accurate sweeping time, because they've still got from the hog line into the house to sweep it. So we're probably talking 23 seconds.
Absolutely, some good solid, like I said, some good solid times that they can really work with. All right, Danny's asked for a peel here, so she's going to clear out that front so that she makes sure she's got the ability to have a shot at the end. Looks like a really nice release by Annalena, and Em's just going to dust it off a little bit, and nice solid peel there. Open things up. They're going to call to replace that and say we would like a Yellowstone right back up there, so that's what they're going to do. I have noticed out here, Clayton, that a lot of the different teams that you'll see them taking different ice than even the team they're playing against at the time. So it's not even per sheet, but literally they get to know how their players throw. So a lot of the players have been training for arena ice, and you can see this rock here as an example. They had the broom well inside the 8 foot, but you saw the breaking point of that rock was out into the 12 and worked its way in. So it just depends. They get to learn how their players throw and if they have a popping rotation. And whereas typical club curlers, you'll notice they'll come out and they just basically let go of the rock and start it turning, which typically causes an overturn. But I've definitely noticed it amongst the teams that there's some teams that really ice themselves tight and throw it back out into it. And just wondering if you've seen a lot of that too here, Clayton, or what your thoughts on that?
I haven't noticed it. They all look fairly the same here. I did notice it a lot last weekend, but that was because I was curling and I'm one of those club curlers. So, yeah, you're right. When we played height, probably consistently, there was, even on draw shots, there's probably a good 6 to 8 inches difference in ice that we were giving each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'll see that. So and again, these teams play and throw so many rocks, and they know where to put it, and they know how their release is going to work. And so when you step into it, especially this team with Kelly stepping in as an example, sometimes it takes a little while to adjust to their throw, and especially Kelly's a left-handed curler too, so that's different to look at just in itself as a skip. So, but so far they were working really well together. Kelly's never afraid to say, "Hey, listen, I think I need a little less or a little more," because Kelly knows how she throws it, and especially out on this ice, she knows it better than anybody. So I love to see the communication. I love to see how quickly they're adapting to one another, and because of it, they've made some just terrific shots together, and it's great to see.
And the honesty between the players. You know, you got to be able to say, okay, I think you put it out, and you have to be able to admit it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you'll see these teams even down there, they're giving themselves high fives and getting each other up and picking each other up, and it's that's good to see. So here's a slight miss, and so there's a jam, but she got the roll behind, so unlucky on the jam, but probably the roll was probably more important to get it behind there and let them think about it a little bit, and so yeah, just great shot there that worked out really well. And like I said, losing the back one wasn't the biggest deal. They still got second shot, and they're buried behind. So now we're going to see an attempt at a run back here, and Kelly loves these ones, so expect this one to be perfect, or at least really, really close. Motivating those sweepers, and didn't quite make it, but not a bad miss. Almost got her shooter to stick around. And as I said, if she wasn't making that, it was going to be darn close. And Clayton, that was darn close. That did not miss by much.
Yeah, it was very close. When you're talking close, you're probably talking 1/8 of an inch on the rock.
Yeah, absolutely. I would change that direction. So this opens up an opportunity now, and Danny's going to jump at it. So you're going to be asking him here to throw it, and basically it's almost like splitting the rings right now. They're just going to want to roll to the outside just a little bit, and just try to play shot for shot. I know that's way down the road still, but we've got quite a few rocks left, but they're just going to try to play shot for shot and really try to bounce with the deuce. So beautiful roll here. Pretty much perfect. As you can see, they lined up those rocks, and that's exactly what you want to see if you can just get those lined up. So now that forces Abby here into a hit, and she's going to try to get it close to that red rock just to cause a little bit of problems for Danny for her next shot. So we'll see how she makes out, and they just saw this coming down here, so they'll have a good idea on what the ice does and should be able to call this pretty tight.
Yeah, try to group them up.
Absolutely. You're just looking for an opportunity for a double on your last one is what all Abby's thinking right now, is just get it over towards that red rock and hopefully get them grouped so that she has a crack at it for her last one. The old Manitoba tuck slide with the corn broom. That's very, we've seen that from a lot of players in Manitoba. Haven't seen a lot with the women, so it's kind of cool to see that tradition coming back there a little bit, and in the women's curling too, and the old typical Manitoba tuck.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so they got a hit and stick. So now the girls are going to figure out where are we going to put this to set it up. And now most people would say, well, why don't we just hit that one and make sure just in case. And the problem is if they hit nose on that, that would give an opportunity for a double opportunity back. Sometimes you want to give your opponents that chance because it's not an easy shot. There's maybe it looks like it's there, but it's never easy to make a cross-house double. So they might go, that looks like the call. They're going to say, hey, go ahead. You know what? We're going to take this out, sit 1 and 2, and let you decide if you want to go for the double and give us the shot for 2. So there's a lot of team discussion now. Now they're deciding to draw. Look at all the options. Clayton, what would you like to do here?
Well, I don't know if I'd like to do it, but the nose hit, I think, gives them second shot.
Yes,
But
it would be very close. And I think what's
Yeah.
happened is if you go with that hit, I think you'd have to have a little bit of inside roll to make sure you're shot. So I don't think they think that's worth the risk. And so they're going to go with the draw. And if they put it anywhere close to that, they want to line it up, of course, would be ideal. And if not, coming back a little bit, it still makes the double tough. So they're going to try to draw this to top 4 and just make it very difficult. So that would be a perfect shot right now. Annalena jumped on this a little quick, Clayton, so she might be thinking, wait, now she's having a good look at it, and great communication between her and Em right now. Looks like they have lots of the lines good. The weight's pretty close, so now they're deciding exactly where they want this to end up. And boy, oh boy, I don't know if you can do much better than that, Clayton.
No, you can't draw it up any better.
Fantastic shot. So now all they can do is they're going to get rid of one of these red rocks and try to go for a roll again, just to make it tough. Ideal situation is to hit and roll and just half get behind one of the other rocks just to make it tough. So we'll see how they make out. They're choosing to go with the outside one. They just threw this shot. So again, this is the 3rd time in a row they've got to throw on the same spot. So they have a really good idea with it. So very confident getting into the hack to throw this one. Beautiful hit and roll there. So job accomplished. Now we're going to figure out which turn she wants to come. This is basically a skip's choice on this one because Danny's the one throwing it. So she's going to decide whether she wants to come with the in turn or out turn and just think about the weight. They're going to have a quick, looks like they're going to come down with just nice control or better known as house weight. Depends on where you're from, what you want to call it, but just a nice controlled takeout weight and try to get as close to nose as you can and bounce back with another deuce. All right, just a nice solid clean. Looks like this is it, and the girls bounce back with a beautiful deuce. So it should be 5-2 after 3, and we're going to commercial break.
everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Back into action here in Swift Current. And thanks again to the RBC Dominion Securities. This is our Western Showdown. Thanks to Sasktel Curling Stadium. We have some great action happening right in Swift Current, Saskatchewan, with teams all over the world competing. And in this case, all the way from Germany and Manitoba, our friendly neighbors. So action has been fantastic. The shot making beautiful, the setups wonderful, and Team Germany on the good side with Team Jentsch, and they're up 5-2, thanks to a nice trio in the first end. Team Ackland battled back with a beautiful deuce in 2, and then that last end just kind of worked out in Jentsch's favor, and they scored a 2 right back. So down by 3, and we'll see the corner go up there, which we did, and now they're gonna see what they can do to try to generate again, try to get their deuce, and then see what happens from there.
Looks like a replay from the last time they came this direction so far.
It is basically carbon copy, isn't it? So in the second end, this is basically exactly how it started out, and yeah, we'll see if it has a similar result. Clayton, if you have any chance, you could give us a few updates on other curling games when you get an opportunity. As fans, I'm sure out there, they might be watching all the games, but it's always good to know what's happening out there.
Sure. On sheet 6, it's Kleider against Japan. Kleider's up 3-2 after 2, and I believe that's an elimination round. And on sheet 1, it is 2-1 after 2, and that's Thompson against Korea. And again, I think that's another elimination game. I'm not positive though.
Okay.
And on sheet 2, it looks like Parent got a 4-ender the first end, and the second end isn't marked up yet.
All right, and I believe we have an A semi out there that's happening as well with Kaiser and Grandy. They're both in the A event, and looks like Kaiser is up 3-1, and that's after. Well, they're in the 4th right now, so that's after 3. So it looks like a tight game there, and we'll make sure we keep everybody updated on that action. All right, here we go. So in our game here, we have a lot of action happening here. So we've just Team Ackland decided to change up strategy a little bit over their second end. So they had the opportunity to come behind the corner they threw, but they decided they wanted to take action into the middle, so they threw one on top, and so now they're just basically returning stones. So we're gonna get a pretty good grouping up front, but looks like Team Ackland's decided they're going to move some rocks. So we're gonna see a takeout here, and I believe she thinks the drag will come back, and I'm probably gonna agree with her on this one. She can drag that yellow back and catch the red one on the top of the forefoot as well. So let's see if they can hit the right spot of that rock to create some drag effect here. Looks like they're going to hit this too far on the inside, so it definitely dragged it. Still in good shape. Managed to keep that as a biter, so I would call that a very, very successful shot. They left theirs in front of the red one in the forefoot, and so definitely a good solid shot there, and going to be some opportunities here. So I think this is going to be a lively end, and that's normally what we'll see a lot, Clayton, is we'll see in the even ends that the team, especially with the hammer, starts getting a little more aggressive and going for the points. Typically in the odd ends, that's when we'll see the blanks a lot, but the even, the teams really go for the points, and looks like they're going to make the fans happy by getting lots of rocks in play here.
Yeah, you want to score on the even ends, that's for sure.
There's a lot of games, especially we'll see in the men's, where there's just blank after blank after blank and very low scoring, and they start out very aggressively, but with the guys with the big weight, what we'll see is they start clearing doubles and triples and everything else, and mostly in a lot of the women's games here, they play a little safer. They try to get the finesse hit and rolls, and the rolls they're very capable of throwing the weight, but just with the control that they have, we'll see them move rocks around and try to set up the ends that way. So that's exactly what we're seeing right now from here. One at a time, get the hit, roll it over, get it into the house, give yourself an opportunity for a big end. So it's not always about going after shot rock, it's controlling second and third. And if you can control second and third and get a crack at that shot rock, that's when you're going to get the big ends in play. So nice little hit and roll. Didn't quite get onto the house like she wanted, but solid shot all the same, and opened up the front a little.
Yeah, with club rocks, you're not going to get the doubles and triples like we see on TV either. The striking bands aren't. Yeah, exactly, striking bands aren't quite as lively.
Exactly. So, all right, looks like M's got a solid shot out there, and Annalene is just going to lean down and kind of just do a solid clean on this rock. Should be pretty happy about that. Save a little bit of her energy. M's just confirming the line with her, following it down, trying to get that right onto the center line. So now we see that it's open a little bit, Clayton. So a little bit of a teaser here to throw some weight down.
It's the tight port, but
it is definitely a tight port, and by the time it's coming up there, it's going to move. So they're going to have to keep this line. You can see where she's putting the broom. She's asked Kelly here to throw, I assume, pretty firm weight at this. No, she's coming out with normal here. Looks like a beauty coming in here. Just got a curl of hair. Oh my gosh, just touched the top one.
What, can we blame the lefty out turn?
Must have been the lefty out turn. It looked pretty solid coming down, and
I know.
And some would wonder why they weren't trying to sweep that. You'll see a lot of teams out here trying to get on the outside and put a very steep angle on their sweeping from the outside person to try to get the rock to curl, but a lot of times the teams don't believe that will really help, especially with the weight that was just thrown. Typically, to get the rock to curl up, you're looking at bumper or less for weight to really make a difference out on the ice to get the rock to curl up. So a little unfortunate in that last one. It just didn't come up, but let's allow Ems to throw up another guard, and she made no mistake with that one. She put it right where they wanted. So Now it's going to be decision time whether to run that back into their own or just try to clear it out with only a few shots to come. Looks like Kelly's being asked to do another run back. She just threw it down here, so she knows exact what the rock's going to do. So we can pretty much bank on this one being right where they want it. We're very close again. Come up a hair. So good enough to make contact, and got a little rollover, a little more than they wanted, but still a beautiful shot, beautiful run back. And that opens up the entire center. So that last shot will be a lot easier. So now Team Gents, they're going to look at trying to get rid of that. And it's not easy. It's basically edge on edge with that guard. So there's not a lot of room for error here. So they're going to take a good look at this and see what kind of weight they want to throw at it. And after this, they would love to be sitting shots 1 and 2.
And I don't think we've seen a rock thrown in that spot.
No, there's very rare that we'll see anything out there. And you can see Annalena, she's already halfway down the curling ice, cleaning up that path because she knows that's fresh too. The only thing that's been out there is footprints. And so they're probably going to make sure that they throw this solidly, but I believe this will be somewhat of a guess out there. It's really hard to know exactly what this does. Slide was a little shaky there for Danny. She didn't quite get her footing right off the bat, but looks like she adjusted well, and she's very close. Oh no, she got her running off the top. So I think just a little balance coming out just caught her off guard and just maybe set that out a little bit, and unfortunately just couldn't get that rock to come back in. So huge opportunity for Ackland now to sit and lie 3.
They didn't need a lot of discussion on that shot.
No, I assume that they're going to try to stay pretty close. I don't think they have any need to roll into the middle and chance having a short little hit and roll to get behind cover. So I assume they're going to try to hit this close to nose and just sit out there and just say, go ahead. I got 3 in the rings. What do you want to do about it? And that's exactly what they've done there. Beautiful shot. Now the girls are looking back at this one going, all right, well, we just threw it, and this is the easiest chance to get rid of 2 and basically concede the deuce. But Danny really doesn't want to give up 3 here.
Do you think there's any chance of an inside roll with this?
The only way you'd get an inside roll is to come down with less weight, and I don't think that interests her. So I think she's just going to go for the double here, keep her weight up, and again, concede the 2. It's not the easiest double, though. As you know, Clayton, those rocks are very close together. So she's got to hit this basically right in the middle of both of them, right where the broom is, to get both of them, because it's very easy to catch one a little thick and spin over the other one. So
absolutely.
If we were near the end of the game and this was a desperation and you couldn't afford to give up 2, you'd see a lot of teams go with the out-turn draw around the staggered yellows, but it's pretty early in the game, so they didn't want to take that risk. And but it looks like, oh, this is really close, Clayton. No. So stayed out there on her again. So now they're going to allow the bounce back of 3. And a really good chance that this is going to be a tied up game after 4. So far, the teams are very successful with their hammer percentages. They're multi-points in all 4 ends when they had the hammer. Light sweep on this, which means it should be pretty good. Which it is, and we'll go in a commercial break with a tied-up game, 5-5, high-scoring affair after 4 ends of play, thanks to the Sasktel Curling Stadium and the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown.
Sasktel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? Sasktel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Had some questions about if our houses are painted or are they logo. Our events are always painted houses, but in the future coming out, I'm pretty sure we're going to be going to all logo houses. They're a great revenue source for any curling club. You can get your advertisements on there, and usually after the first year, the houses are paid for. It's all free money for you. So hopefully check Jet Ice out for your future in-house logos.
All right, Clayton, we're back in action, and are you able to keep up with all this action we got on sheet number 3? My God, we're halfway through the scoreboard, and it's been 4 ends, so it's nice to see the bounce back and the action, and guess what? We're back into it again. We've got the center guard, and we've got the one on the top 4, and looks like action's going to heat up again for us.
Yeah, it sure looks like it, and it doesn't seem like either team is going to change their way of doing things.
No, they're full throttle, so as many social media clips would be, this is a hashtag full send game. Just got to give the hats off to these leads on both these teams. They are just putting the rocks right where you want them, and that's what leads up to a pretty exciting end. We have Alina Jentsch on Team Jentsch. That's Danny's younger sister playing lead for them. And then for Team Ackland, we have Sarah Oliver throwing the lead stones, Megan Walter in second, Caitlin Jones is missing, and Kelly Schaefer is filling in as third. And then we have Abby Ackland as the skip.
Old school, we always used to say, put your weakest player at lead. I don't think there's room for a weak player anymore.
No, when we all started out, when you got put as lead, it was because you were the rookie or you were starting out. And I can tell you what, there's not one team out here that you would consider a weak player at the lead position. In fact, they're some of the strongest players because they have to physically be strong, because their role as a sweeper as well is so significant. So it's a big deal. You must get those ends set up, and then you're sweeping like crazy. And it's just there's not a spot to hide a player on a curling team. Every single one does has to do an amazing job for a team to be competitive.
Yeah, and your lead either puts you in the end or takes you out of the end. It's just so important for them to make their shots and set the tone.
Absolutely. Yes, and just here's a perfect example. Look at this setup of rocks where everybody's made their shot right now. Corner freezes, draw behinds. Just absolutely awesome to watch. And now we're going to go for a peel and see if we can open things up. So Annalena. Looks like a solid throw. M's on it early and then gets to back off, so she gets to watch this. A nice solid peel and got their objective, and now it's wide open out front. And if anything like before, we're going to see Ackland put it right back up there, which we are.
We've got your 2 lopsided Christmas trees going here.
Absolutely. It's just these girls, it's like carbon copy each end. We almost know what's coming before it happens. So, and so far that strategy is working for both teams. I think this the key to this game, if we do keys to the game, it'll be who can figure out how to be defensive at some point to stop the multiple scoring. Because offensively, 0 complaints from either side.
Good defense is a great offense.
Yes. Well, good thing they've got their offense going. When they look back at the game tape, they'll be going, okay, offense was great when we had the hammer. Now, how are we going to stop the other team from scoring so many points? Because there's been a lot of games out there, and we might even see a few today that the final score is only 5-5 or 6-5. So very rare to have a lot of multi-point games, especially for both teams. We've definitely seen a bunch of them. I know in the last draw there was one team that was almost off the scoreboard. I think the final was 10-9. So there's it's not the first time we've seen a high-scoring affair, but it's not always typical. Now I'm thinking that was called a guard or maybe a real tight one, and it just rolled up, and now it's starting to be a little bit of a cluster up front. So Danny's going to figure out the angles here to see what she can do, but very difficult definitely to move the yellow rocks out with hers being behind. So she'll figure out a way to maybe rearrange these a little bit to set up an angle after, and that's exactly what she's looking at. She's trying to hit about 3/4 of that yellow rock and then just get a nice little roll over so that she can use that over into the corner. So again, looks like we're back to a chess match here, Clayton.
Yeah, for sure. It's great to watch these games when you get a chess match and they're not just gambling at one point.
No, that's absolutely. They're trying to set up opportunities. Thinking a few shots ahead, not just one at a time. This is moving a little bit on them, so they're not going to quite get as much roll as they're hoping. But they definitely move things around. I think she'll be pretty happy with that task. Now the Ackland can't return the favor with the nose double, as that yellow is in the way now. So this will change up her shot a little bit now for sure. So pretty good result on that last one.
contemplating making a play on that stone.
Yes. So she's looking at those angles right now. So Abby's having a good look at it, and they can see probably about good 3/4 of that one that's touching the top of the 8-foot. And now they're just going to see, is that worth? Kelly's coming down to have a closer look at the angles, because is it worth sending it over? Because if you hit probably a half a rock, it's hard to tell from my angle here, but if she hit half a rock, which is easier to do, is that just going to simply roll over and jam onto the yellow, or would that get underneath? So they're going to look at the pros and cons of making a play on the reds, or now they're looking at, okay, what do we do with our yellows? Should we promote our yellows up?
Yeah, playing that red stone, you could move the yellow in the wrong direction.
Absolutely. There's a great overhead shot there, thanks to our curling stadium guys. So thank you very much out there. But that's a great look straight down so that you can see all the angles and what they're basically looking at. How are we going to make this work? Looks like there's more discussion here. This is big chance. The front end, you don't normally see the front end come down, but the good news about this event is there's no time clocks. And without the time clocks, you're going to see a lot of teams do the full meeting. And this is a good example. This is the first time we've seen it this game where all the players come down to discuss it. But it's a pretty big point of the game. Going into the second half, you don't want to lose control of the game. And so they're going to all discuss the angles and basically come up with a shot that the whole team is happy with. And
I'm sure part of their discussion is, if they don't play that red stone, will it get played on the next play? Germany might want to promote that and have a couple sitting in the 4-foot.
Correct. So yeah, they've had a good look at this, and a lot of times, Clayton, the call that ends up after all the discussion, after all the different things,
is the original one.
Call. Yeah. Typically, that gut instinct of what you want to do. A lot of times, if teams trust that, they'd be a lot better off. A lot of teams end up coming up with a lot of wild things, but a lot of times you go back to that original play, and whether it be right or wrong, the team is definitely most confident with this. So Kelly's going to throw her intern at this one and see if she can make a couple red rocks disappear. Well, they're pretty close on this one. Beautiful shot.
That's probably the call.
And there we go. So look at that. After all that discussion, and went with plan A, and looks like that was a really good one. We got fist pumps all around, and Kelly with a beautiful slide, beautiful release, and beautiful result. It's amazing how that all works together. All right, now a slight angle run back, and this is hanging out here, Clayton. It's going to have to move a little bit, or we're going to shoot this through the hole, which we did. Let's see if she gets lucky on the jam at the back.
I think she's right through. Oh, she did.
Oh, she got a little jam, and will it stay on? Okay, good. So not all lost there, because with the hammer, having that one, even though it's just biting the 12-foot, that in theory could be that second point. And so that'll make Team Ackland think right now of, okay, where are we going to put this? First of all, to avoid a double, and second, make it difficult so that it stays there and out counts that back red one.
And more often than not, it becomes not a theory that it's a second point. It does become the second point.
Yes, especially at this level. If these ladies get an opportunity to make the shot, they're going to make it. So they got to figure out how to hide this and avoid the double. And so they're going to discuss a couple spots. My old favorite, the Christmas tree. They want to put that out there and see if they can put that, and if they can form the side of the Christmas tree where they show half a stone of each one. That'll be impossible to score 2 for Team Germany, and they'll be forced to draw around on the in turn, most likely, possibly the out turn for their single point. All right, the girls jumped this early, Clayton, which normally means it's either light or it's tight, and it's definitely not tight. So it looks like they're backing off. So maybe a little bit of excitement there by them. No, their gut instincts were right off the bat. It was definitely light out of the hand, and that's why they jumped it. And partway down, they decided to go to plan B and just simply guard that one. So again, not a bad play. It's guarding that. Can't get in there, so.
They have forced them to run the opposition stone back in there, so, you know, bad things can happen for Germany still.
Absolutely. So yeah, a lot of people would wonder why not draw around, why get in there, but with that Ackland rock or the yellow rock so close and into the full four, that is a very tight little area to try to get 2 rocks into. So they've decided to run this back into it, leave it open, and basically allow Team Ackland to hit that back one. And this could end up a blank end after all the.
Some discussion going on here just exactly where they want this stone.
Looks like they're just going to go with. I missed where they pointed? Are they going to try to get a biter out of this, or are they just going for a straight guard?
Well, I don't think they actually pointed, but they did a lot of eye gestures. So
okay,
I'm thinking they want to have a small piece of the 12-foot.
Yeah, the only danger in that is if it stays out there and if it fully goes in and you could make it the double and roll in, that would be a way to allow the deuce. So let's see what they call here. They've got a nice light sweep on it. Looks like it's quite a ways out there. They're hitting it hard now. They need it to curl though. They could leave a hole here if it doesn't curl up. And they went with a just straight guard. So
yeah,
that'll force them to draw to the button. And in this situation, great force, or possibly the steal is still up for grabs here. So Team Ackland right now will be given high fives and pretty happy with this end and how it turned out, because they're either stealing one or they're forcing to one. And as the opposition, that's the best case scenario right now.
Yeah, the first single of the game. Yeah, for Auckland, what I'd say the worst case scenario for her, which isn't bad, is she has hammer 1 down coming on the even ends.
That's right. Get that even ends. And so far, she's been very successful on those even ends in scoring. So she'll want to keep that up. All right, so we should see Em jump up here. Here she goes. I'm thinking she probably should have jumped out a little bit earlier than she did. So that's going to come up light. Again, really tough with only one sweeper out there. That second one is such a huge helper, but can't do much about that. And they've given up the steal of one, but they will retain hammer going into 6.
Yeah, and that's for Team Germany. You can take that even as somewhat of a positive when you're one down, heading towards home end with the hammer.
Correct. All right, we're going to break for a commercial break, and we'll be back shortly.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel, because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Sasktel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Back in action, Team Ackland with a big steal in end number 5. It's the first time we've had a single point out there. But now we're going into end number 6, where action usually heats up for both teams because they want to take control into the last couple ends. And we had our guard out front and action into the middle. And now this one's a little wide, so we've had basically perfect freezes in there by Sarah all game, and this is the first time. That was still a great shot. Just got it outside a little bit and didn't quite get the curl in there. So slight change, and now that allows for Annalena to be able to draw in and put 2 up top into the 4-foot. So they're going to try to take advantage of this. So M jumps on that a little early, and even Annalena decides she's going to jump up and help, as if she hasn't done enough sweeping this game, but she's going to jump up and sweep her own, but mostly cheerlead on, and looks like we've got a beautiful shot coming in here, just trying to get a little bit of curl on top.
You guys sound good. Sounds good.
We got a good setup there. Well, Clayton, it sounds like you got our general manager, Chris Eichert, somewhere in the building there.
Wearing a sports coat and looking like $1 million.
Well, that's good to hear. Chris is he is the reason why we're so able to have these great events great players from all over the world playing right here in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. As he made a lot of calls, and he's worked really hard with the Sasktel Curling Stadium and getting this event there. And again, thanks to RBC Dominion Securities for sponsoring our Western Showdown. It's just fantastic to be able to check out all these games and sit in your living room and enjoy great curling alongside all the fans that are down here now getting to watch. We can see a lot of them downstairs, but the best viewing is always upstairs, and I know it's a pretty packed house, and it's great to see. Tonight should be great atmosphere, and we've got the cool shots happening. So anybody that's in Swift Current or that can make it down, make sure to make it down for that. Then you get your own competition here at this event. So should be fantastic.
Free beer for a year.
Yes, the winner of Cool Shots, free beer for a year. Can you imagine? Clayton, have you been up there practicing?
No. I find when I practice, I get worse. Free beer for a year. There's got to be some small print in there somewhere.
Yeah. Well, here was an attempt at a nose double. It jammed on one, but still sitting really good. Allows Ackland to do a little hit and roll now and see if she can cause a little grief for Team Germany. We've got Megan Walter in the hack ready to throw. She's had a really good game so far, and percentages are right up there. Really nice delivery and good solid thrower. This one needs to curl a little bit. Now it's straightening out. Looks like she's got a real good one coming in here, Clayton. It's got a little hit and roll, but those will be very difficult to get out. The only way you're getting those two out is probably losing the shooter, or at least a big roll. So that's what they're going to go for, though. Looks like with that ice, they're going to throw this pretty healthy weight.
Yeah, I think if you save your shooter, I think there's going to be a yellow one hang around too.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that's a tough angle. So we'll see what M can come up with here. Just got to curl up a little bit here to make sure she gets to at least. All right, shoots it out, knocks it down to the back. Their shot is shot now up front, the red one, in the full 12. Team Ackland has a biter right at the back, so opens it up a little bit. And Abby's asked for the come around there, so Kelly's going to be up and see if she can sling her in turn right into the top of the button. And I've played Kelly enough times that I'm guessing that this is going to be pretty darn close. Line's coming in excellent, Clayton. I believe the weight's pretty close. They're hammering it pretty good. Might be a little light of where they want. No, they've got a pistol in here, so no shocker with Kelly with a nice shot. She has shown half a rock, though, so I think the team thought they were going to get a little bit more finish out of that stone, and not sure why it didn't completely to finish under there, but that leaves a half a stone opportunity, maybe a quarter. Maybe I'm being pretty generous on that half. So they got about a quarter stone, so they can get this with some weight, and they might even get lucky and maybe grab that one off the back 12 as well. M with a little bit of in-out action on her rock there, which they knew was coming. Normally means the rock's going to curl pretty hard at the end, which it is. You can see you got a big part of this. Actually, might even curl and touch their, oh my gosh, it touched their own red one even, that had so much action on that one. So
yeah, definitely not the result they were looking for.
No, I think that caught them off guard. That curled as much as Kelly's draw weight on them. So definitely jumped on them.
Possibly a little light, do you think?
Yes, it might have been, because they did hit and roll over. I didn't see what the weight call was, but that was closer to maybe a hack weight probably by the time, like, the amount of it hit off there, because it's still stuck around the ring. So possibly a touch lighter than they were looking for, and just caught them off guard. And again, really tough when you don't have that second sweeper to give the information on this sweep and just to to help maintain the speed of it too. So the girls are going to be in tough with 3 all weekend, but they're going to battle hard. I got the opportunity to meet them all the other day. We did some golfing together. They hadn't golfed before, so I brought them over to the academy, and it was pretty amazing to watch how talented they are. Just being athletic without golf, and by the end they were all smacking the ball and enjoying it. And I knew that they'd be pretty tired though, just 3 of them.
Better golfer than I am already.
Well, Clayton, I wouldn't say that, but they were pretty strong. Yeah, I'm usually asked how hard it is to pick up the game of golf, and I tell everybody the same answer. That's probably one of the hardest sports out there. Well, to perfect, it's almost impossible. But to become good at golf, it's one of the harder sports because there's so many different parts to the golf swing, and these girls were so stubborn. They're like, and competitive. I also got to work with Team Italy that were here, and the competition between them, they're like, well, we did better, didn't we? Or who is better and who hit the furthest? And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome to see, just a competitive nature, and to have the athletes here. It's pretty easy to work with them, that's for sure, and it was a lot of fun.
I don't know anybody that's competitive and stubborn.
Yeah. Speaking of good golfers, Kelly Schaefer, previously known by many in the curling wood as Kelly Wood, played with Eve Muirhead's team for many years. She's a really good golfer herself. She gets out there a lot. Her little son has been through our junior program, and a good little golfer himself. So it's fun to combine the 2 sports. They match each other pretty well with the seasons.
So I got a time on that one at 15 again, Jeff. So it's pretty much the same still.
So it hasn't tightened up at all, and well into the 6th end. Thanks for that, Clayton. I was actually curious on how that was holding up. So the time is staying pretty consistent, and you can see Team Ackland's putting some pressure on the girls here. Danny really wants to find a way to get 2 here on this end. Lots of rocks in play, so blanks out of the question now. So they're going to try to figure out how to move things around and try to get 2. And boy, she would love to generate 3, and she's got enough rocks in the house to do that. She just has to move them around in the right way. They're watching this closely. They've called on the outside sweep to try to get it to curl a bit. Looks like she's going to get a good chunk of this and roll over nicely. Move the other one to the back, so sitting pretty good. Yellow one's wide open now, with 2 red ones over on the side. Now Team Ackland is going to say, wow, we could bring another one right in there, but they're starting to look at all the red rocks that are gathering around in the 12 foot. As you can see right now, they're taking a good look at them, and I'm like, hey, listen, maybe we should, even Kelly's, maybe we should play off these guys. You don't want to leave too many around there, because one miss and the other team comes down with a double, and next thing you know, you're looking at 4, and that would open it wide open. So we might actually see a defensive strategy in place here. So far, we've mostly seen full offense. What do you like here, Clayton? What are you feeling? There's a lot of options here. You could throw the Christmas tree, you could throw a straight guard, you could do an in-off on the outside.
I know it's risky, but I think I would come with what I'd call my in-turn and try to get top right where she put the broom.
Yeah, that's definitely one of their calls there for sure. Let's see if the whole team would. Yeah, it looks like the team thinks that's a good call. Sounds like our GM's advertising the cool shots.
You can hear them better than I can.
So this is a big shot, Clayton. I think we all realize that. In the mind, she'd be thinking that a little bit light is the area if you don't make a perfect shot, to be a touch light, so it at least uses it as a guard. But you don't want that to be your last thought either of how to miss, because typically when you think of how to miss, you're going to miss. So she'll be looking at making the shot exactly where they put the broom down and put some real big pressure.
Yeah, this is the
on
type
Jentsch.
of shot. This is the type of shot. It's the same as I hope I don't hook it into the water.
Exactly. All right. There, Kelly's calling the hard line. So this rock's moving pretty hard, Clayton. So it's very, very close to right where they want it, though. Look at this. Just going to hug that red one. Oh,
Little
just
rub.
a little rub. Oh, my gosh. You can see the reaction there from the skip that she's like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
This opens up a possible double, almost a triple, Clayton, if you get close to the nose here.
Yeah, I would believe the triple's there for sure.
Definitely opens up the opportunity for the double. And I think the back one would definitely be a bonus, but yeah, if they could get this nice double and sit there, they'd be sitting pretty good. And if they could at all get that triple off there, could you imagine sitting 4 in this situation, how fast this end could change around?
Yeah, for sure. Well, on the other sheets, Jeff, if I was going to forecast a game, on sheet 1, it looks like Korea will eliminate Thompson. I know it's early in the poll, but...
Yeah. What kind of score do we have there?
It is 7-2 playing 6, and the house doesn't look very good for Thompson, I don't think. I'm just running to take a look. Yeah, there's quite a few rocks to come. She could still get a pair maybe, but I'm pretty sure that giving up a pair at this point isn't a major concern to Korea.
And a little update on in the A semi, we've got Grandy and Kaiser, which you can, they are 4-2 for Kaiser. All right, here comes Danny. It's pretty close. Looks like this has to curl too. They've had a few that have been on the outside, so let's see.
Yeah, she might leave. Yeah,
we're gonna make double the other way. So little plan B halfway down there. When she realized that she was out a little bit, she stuck with plan B and managed to get the double. So
that makes that yellow at the back a lonely rock.
Yeah, so Ackland's choosing to come in with the draw that they just had. Again, a little dangerous, Clayton, because if it ever came up and rubbed on that red and set up a nose double, you're bringing in a pretty big end still. So pretty confident though, just threw this shot. So wants to stick with the same routine, same strategy, and she just threw it. So the sweepers have a good idea of the weight as well. So hopefully they can make this as a team event here. All right. Oh, the sweepers jumped on this, Clayton, which normally means it's a little light. No, they're taking a second look now, so they like it now.
Yeah. Jump it early so they don't lose it, I guess.
Yeah. Looks like they're going to get it at least somewhat tucked as well. So good shot. Back house, but boy, I don't think you can do anything about that, Clayton. This has just come down, and you're just going to have to go for the one. I really don't think. You need
that CW club intern throw here.
Yeah, the lazy handle, the one that dives in there right at the end.
Throw the perfect weight, you got her.
Yeah, so
I don't recommend it.
Yeah, this is definitely going to tease them, but could be worth the risk if they could get it. Literally, it's for 4, but again, Danny, she feels she can get this, so
they only have to move that back rock about 6 or 8 inches.
Yeah, so she feels she's going to have it. This is not a lot of ice for sure. I'm going to guess probably hack to bumper weight on this, maybe a firm hack. I didn't see what the weight call was, but I'm assuming to make that shot, you'd probably at least have to have hack weight.
And even if she only gets to 3/4 of the rock, she probably still gets her 1 anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, this will be tough though. You really got to call this pretty close to that red one that's in the top 12. All right, deep breath, Danny, and trust your throw. Annalina's on this early. M is yelling. I think it's curling up too much, Clayton.
Yeah, from my angle, it looked like she didn't get to the broom very, very well.
No, the good news is she only give up a steal of 1. So Ackland are thieves again, and they steal another point. So they go up 7-5 after 6. We'll be right back after these few messages.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Western Showdown, the largest international women's curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you've decided to join us to see some of the top female curlers in the world participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director of RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and supporter of curling in our community, we're so proud to be supporting the Western Showdown for its inaugural year. RBC is committed to working with our community partners to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the communities in which we live. Thank you to everyone from the Western Showdown team for putting together this amazing event. On behalf of RBC, enjoy the tournament.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
All right, we're back in action here, and you can see Kelly's just doing a little warm-up exercise back there, but we just had a slight pause for Team Ackland. They just had to get a little equipment change, so they're just going to get reset up here, and then we're right back in action. We've got 1 rock into play. So Ackland, we had a big high-scoring affair at the beginning, as you can see by that scoreboard. But a lot of deuces and even a couple 3-enders right off the bat. But in this second half, it's been back and forth with some tremendous shot making on both ends, lots of rocks in play. But Team Ackland has benefited with 2 steals in a row. So getting them set up really nice. And so it's going to lead to a great last couple ends. It's been a tight game. Team Jentsch is going to try hard to get their deuce here and send it into a tie game coming down 8. Probably be ideal situation right now. So they're going to go with the corner guard. We've seen Team Jentsch go into the middle almost constantly. Even yesterday's game that I watched, they like to go into the middle a lot. very few times do they go to the corner, but they feel that this is the time to put a corner guard up and change up strategy a bit. So we'll see if that pays off.
Yeah, it doesn't appear that Ackland has any intentions of playing defense yet.
No, so they threw up a nice tight guard on their first one, and now they've asked Sarah to come around that one into the top 4 area, and looks like she's got a real good one coming in here. The line is beautiful. Looks like the weight is good, and Sarah's just been playing just a rock solid game. Actually, everybody's been playing both sides. Very high percentage shot making, and the front ends have been setting up the ends just beautifully so that we can get some big shots from the back end. Now, I did not see the call here. Clayton, maybe you did, but with this ice, I'm a little confused. It's almost like they're going to chip off that yellow one that was just thrown.
Yeah, that was my guess too. I didn't totally see the call either, but just by the ice.
The free guard zone, if that stone was touching the center line, they wouldn't be able to move that. But because it was just off the center line, it allows them to do a little bit of a split shot, which they did. And they wanted to control that area, and they're not too worried about popping Team Ackland into the house, as they want to get control outside of the house, and they'll deal with those rocks afterwards. So nice solid shot by Analia there, and we're off and running here, and looks like, no surprise, lots of rocks going to be in play.
Yeah, if they can get rocks behind the tee line, I'm sure it doesn't bother them at all. It doesn't matter what color they are.
Right, Megan might have been a little lighter than she wanted to be on that one, so she had to work the sweepers just a little bit harder than probably they wish at this point. Right about now, after a couple games, all these women are in great shape, but the sweeping definitely takes a toll on the bodies. And so when you about this time of the event, especially when we hit tomorrow, Saturday, it's amazing how many teams will be waking up tomorrow morning going, wow, that kind of hurts.
Yeah, for the people that don't curl, it doesn't look like it's as much work as you think it is. But I tell people, well, just try running with your head down at your waist for a while and see how hard it is on you.
Oh, well, I can definitely say I was, after playing last weekend, and I hadn't played, well, for 6 months or so, and right into the battle, and by the third game, I was barely getting back out of the hack when I was down, and I hurt for 2 days before I could walk normal. So it was it beats up the body so much. In fact, I played hockey, and I didn't even feel sore after hockey. It was curling that beat the crap out of me. So it's a very physical sport. I like these girls make it look easy, and it's like, oh yeah, whatever, you're just sliding and pushing a broom and whatever else. But I can assure anybody out there that it's extremely physically taxing on your body. Here's a beautiful shot through the hole, Clayton. We're going to get a little hit and roll.
A little roll.
That was fantastic. And again, just another sign of some great shot making. So Annalena with a beauty through that little port, forcing Ackland to go up and try to clean some house out front. All right, the sweepers are happy on this one. They're just going to watch this one. So I think they wanted to try to get that double if they could, but that one was just thrown outside a little bit. So just a straight peel. No harm though, for sure, and cleaned it up a little bit, but would have been definitely a bonus to take that one off the forefoot for sure. Danny's asking for a tight garter just in the house. Try to get just a counter there, and literally the old Christmas tree style again. I know I've used that terminology a few times, but it's a great shot, and it's a great weapon by teams that can make it work and sneak in there and position their rocks just so. So that's what she's asked of M here. So we'll see if M can throw a nice solid shot down there and keep applying some pressure here in the 7th end. Not touching it yet, which typically means it's a little heavy. So we'll see if this can grab and slow down a little bit. It's curling over quite nicely, so line's pretty good. So it turned into a little bit of a freeze, but still a good shot. Abby's having a good look at that, seeing how much she can see. I believe they can see at least half a rock, so I'm gonna ask Kelly to fire down her intern here and see if she can clear some red granite out of the rocks or out of the house and basically clean house here. Looks like she's got a beautiful, so our hometown girl with a beauty and a very impressive double to get them out of trouble. Again, for Team Ackland, they've got to be just happy to have somebody of Kelly's stature to be able to just fill in on their team and fill the role of third, which is not an easy position to fill. And Kelly so far doing a tremendous job and a huge reason why this team has been so successful this weekend here.
Yeah, not often you can go into a town of 16,000 people looking for a sub and come up with an Olympian to play third.
Exactly. Oh boy, that looked like we had it, and you can see the frustration from Danny there. It's just the poor German team has just had about probably 3 that I've seen that just curl up that mount and just redirect, which is just disheartening as a team. And again, just losing that second sweeper is just such a tough roll. And I know we keep bringing it up, but it's a really tough one when you're only out there by yourself sweeping. It's really hard to hold those rocks, and they've had a few close calls. So little frustration, and this end is changed around quite rapidly by a nice double from Kelly, and now Kelly can put some pressure on by throwing another one in and going to the offense. Both sweepers hard on this one. They feel it's a little light, so they're working hard. Now we got just the straight one.
That's 15 at the hog.
Looks like another pistol. So if it's 15 seconds, we should see it in the full 8, which it still is there. Yes. So nice shot by Kelly, making it all the way to top 4. So great sweeping there, and even the 7th end, and we're still at 15 seconds. So ice is staying very consistent for them, so they don't have to worry too much about it fudging up on them and slowing down by the looks of it. So that's great that they have such a good ice surface to play. Again, thanks to Jason Broughton and his crew for providing just world-class ice for these athletes to play and to showcase their talents.
So how do you generate your 2 now, Joe?
Well, Clayton, I don't have an answer for you on that one.
It's tough, I know that.
They are in tough here. You could come around that red one and try to start generating something, but with that shot that Kelly threw, being so perfectly around that guard and basically touching the forefoot, that puts them in such a control. So they're even though they have to generate some points, they're still asking them to try to clear off the front and run them back into the middle, which she
There's a good one.
successfully done. There we go. That's how you clean ice at a girl. We better see some high fives going on there. All right.
That's how you can generate it.
Yeah. So superb shot there. Right after missing that one that just slightly curled up on them and missed, all of a sudden she battles back and with a raised triple, and it doesn't get much better than that. So much better looking house. Team Ackland's still feeling good. It's an empty house, and they still have a guard to hide behind. So they're going to throw the same shot that they give to Kelly. They just got to see it, so the team will be very confident in judging the weight and the line here. So they'll see if they can bury another one and just keep applying the pressure to Team Jentsch here and make her work for every point. Very solid line here. Kelly's asking them hard to get it back a little bit. They'd love to get into the forefoot, but it's going to come up a little short. So I don't think that's going to scare Danny at all. That's a lot of room there. So a couple different opportunities. So she's decided to come with her intern here to hide around that one in the top 8. So that's just telling you how much late curl you can get, that she's confident to hide that behind there instead of going around the other red guard, which would be a lot easier to get in there, but she's picking the hard way and really wants to try to hide this one.
Yeah, that last rock was 15-5, so it was going to be a little short.
Yeah, those sweepers worked really hard to get it there. So Clayton, I find this a little surprising. I'd probably think that the other turn, like I said, to go around the red and to bury one and force the other team into coming down with some bumper weight and you know, hugging the guard might be a little easier. But Danny's decided she wanted to take the tougher shot of the two. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at this one too, because you know, the hard curl, it's gonna be tough to get around that.
Yeah. Looks like she's pretty good here, though, Clayton. She's going to have a pistol by the looks of it. Oh, no, the girls let it rub again. Oh, my gosh, and the weight was good, too. So not sure what happened there, why they got Annalena off that for a little while. I think they might have thought it was too heavy. But you just could not afford to let that curl up and hit in the open. So now you've got yourself into the situation that at best you're looking at one. So kind of a big mistake there, because they could have even gone to the back 8 and still been shot.
Yeah, it probably was back 4 for weight as far as what the sweepers knew anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one shot. Yeah, you just had to get the other team to make the hard shot on.
Yeah.
All right, so this tough situation. So not only that, it's not the easiest single point here either. So they're gonna make her shoot. They're probably gonna have to play the hit, because to rely on just one sweeper drawing to the button, that's a lot of. Well, no, that's what she's gonna do. Okay, so what do I know? I guess so.
Same shot.
Yeah, same shot. She's just gonna throw the same thing she just did. This is when you're at the other end and you're a sweeper going, oh, why can't we go for the hit so I can just be told what to do rather than having to judge it perfectly?
14-8 at the hog line, so it should be good. Looks like we lost Jeff for a minute. She makes the perfect draw to the 4-foot, and we'll take a commercial break.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Back into action, we've got the 8th and coming down. It's been a great battle so far. Couple small misses by Team Jentsch or Team Germany, and it just made the difference in those few points where it allowed Ackland to steal, and then this last end just with a slight rub on Danny's first caused the rock to go in the open, and thus forcing them to make a beautiful draw to get their single point. So down one without coming home. Ackland in the driver's seat. We'll see what happens here.
Got a great game going on sheet 5, Jeff. The A qualifier, we're tied up coming home.
Oh, the fans will be loving that. Yes, some good action out there. So always good to see when it's tight and coming home. We've had quite a few extra ends already. A lot of close teams out there, and after 8, it doesn't always settle everything. So we'll see if that's the case in this game too. I know Team Jentsch, they would just love to be able to go an extra end in this situation, and I know Team Ackland wants to finish it right here at this end. So let's see what they come up with. So that one slid in and stayed in the open. So that gives an opportunity for Ackland to call the hit now. So Annalena, unfortunately, just coming in a little bit deep, weren't able to control and the free guard zone. So that allows them to make this contact, and it's be a little bit tougher to seal now. Nice solid hit, making no mistakes there.
Ackland can breathe a little bit easier now, but you still got to stay in it.
So Danny's just going to ask for a little back 8, back 12 weight on this one, and basically just try to get in there as close to nose as they can and just bump that yellow rock so it's at the back of the house, and just reshift start reshifting things and seeing what they can generate for some offense, because they would really, really love to be able to steal a point here. Line's pretty good and weight's pretty good, so we should see a good result by the end here. Looks like it didn't move quite as much as they wanted, so M's gonna cross over and sweep on the other side to try to get it to curl a little bit. And then mission accomplished. We got the rock to the back and feel pretty good now. No messing around here. We're gonna just try to peel that guard off and a nice open front. Abby would like nothing more than to have an open shot for her last one, so she's gonna get rid of anything that's out front. And then most likely, if she's successful here, we'll see Danny respond by putting up another guard, and as she wants some garbage out front, because she would love to have a hiding spot. Just a nice smooth sweep. Beautiful solid shot. Again, Megan Walter in that second spot on Team Ackland. She's had a tremendous game. I actually can't remember her missing a shot this game. Every time I've seen her shoot, that's like, good shot. So having a good look. I'm kind of shocked. I would have expected that they would have thrown a guard up to protect their red rock right now, because the red rock's in a pretty good spot being in the 8-foot, but would have thought they would have done a little bit of protection and having something out front to try to hide behind, because you only need one rock out there to really cause a lot of grief. But she's decided she's bringing the action in for a freeze, and I feel it's pretty early in the end here, Clayton, but not sure what your thoughts on this, but I'm pretty shocked not to see a guard.
I agree, Jeff. The more she brings play into the house, the more it favors Auckland, I think, because she's going to be throwing at any red granite that's hanging around.
No, absolutely. So yeah, even if this was made perfectly, which it's going to be a little chip, so it does change directions around. So it actually worked out pretty good. But yeah, imagine they're going to go for the open one here, but the more open it is, the more in favor it is of the Auckland team. So hopefully that strategy will pay off, but either team, I'd assume that Team Yellow here is pretty happy with the way it's looking right now.
I think so. That red one's tucked in there pretty nice, but there's a yellow one right in front of it. So
yes. So a nice safe hit and roll. They didn't have to do anything fancy with that. It's mostly just get rid of it. So now Danny's going to go back up there. Now it's time to throw the guard again. So we'll probably see some replacing until it gets down to the last few rocks now. So we'll probably see guard and peel and guard and peel. And then at some point, Danny will have to make a move on the tap and see what happens. So I'm looking anxiously on. This is definitely coming deeper than they planned, but still out front and still something to contend with. Wow, we might see action coming into the house here. So Couple possibly surprising calls. This might be a time for a discussion. We might see somebody come down. No, now they're talking about the different options here.
I know if I'm throwing the last stone, I'd like to see less stuff along that center line out front.
So I heard the call 10, which is kind of similar to a normal takeout, somewhere between control and normal. Looks like they're just going to try to use their own rock to angle that red out and try to avoid the jam on the back one. This is moving on them early, so they're hard on that sweep. Oh, and that worked out really well from it. Definitely tucked up more than they were planning, but in the end up it worked out really nice. But they did leave those crossed over Clayton out front there, and that's dangerous when you're able to hide behind them. So Danny's pretty happy with how that worked out with the two rocks overlapping each other, so neither one of them can be used as a run back. So now if they can bury one around there and right into the button, it's going to take a couple shots and maneuvering of rocks before Ackland can get at that rock. So this is a big opportunity for M to see if she can bury one in there. They'll be watching this one close. They've had a few close rubs where it overcurls, so they're going to try to avoid that for sure. Looks like this one is really good. Let's just see if it sits down in time. It's a touch heavy. Oh, it's a touch heavy. All right, a little unfortunate there. They're thinking about the freeze weight, and they really needed to get the draw first, and the freeze would have been a bonus, but that was a good opportunity to draw one in there onto the button. And now you can see Ackland is wasting no time, and she does not want to see those staggered guards there any longer. So Kelly will come down and clean some house. Again, for those that are just joining us, I know a lot just joined. This is Kelly Schaefer, previously Kelly Wood. She's most known for playing with Eve Muirhead for many years. And now she is in Swift Current full time, and we're very happy to have her. Her husband's just in the background there watching that I can see. So cheering her on. Kelly represented Team Scotland with Eve Muirhead for many, many years, and now curls out of the Swift Current Curling Club, and she's sparing for Team Ackland out of Manitoba as their third. Caitlin Jones couldn't make it, so again, we were saying earlier, it worked out really well to be able to fill in and take such a vital role on a team, and I know they've been working very good together and pulling off some great shots. So it's good to see the chemistry start so soon and so easily. So now Danny's forced into a little bit of a tougher shot here, trying to hide behind those yellows. Not a lot of room to work with here. But with only a couple rocks to play, gonna have to make some very finesse, tough shots coming in. No rocks out front to hide behind. So you gotta hide wherever you can hide. They've got a lot of room so far. It's just not curling for them. So the weight's good. It's shot rock, just couldn't get the movement on it. So it's going to be wide open here. So Abby will decide what turn she wants to use and what kind of weight. And they're just going to make sure that they don't rush into this shot and they make the proper call and figure out where they want to leave their shooter. So a good consensus between the two. Again, they've just started working together just a couple days ago, and but already meshing really well and working together very well. And Kelly has a good eye on this. She's re-looking at those angles. She wants to make sure she knows. She's actually just saw another how the rocks are lined up, but they're going back to their first plan, and they're going to let Danny throw the same shot, thinking that they'll be able to access it. So nice safe hit and roll. Didn't need to stick around. Basically forcing Danny and Team Jentsch into the exact same shot where they have to try to get tucked around that yellow rock that's in the 8-foot. They're going to try to get half tucked to make it tough and hopefully bite the tee line, which will give them the best shot at this, and see if she can just make it tough for Abby for her last shot to give them a chance at going to the extra end. Thanks again to Sasktel Curling Stadium for providing all this action for everybody and putting out the draws for all the sheets so that people from all over the world can tune in. I know we have people all the way from Scotland watching this as they're old friends with, or even teammates with Kelly. I see Jackie Lockhart's out there. We've all seen her on the ice so many times, and it's kind of neat that they can tune in and watch a past teammate play all the way over in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. So again, thanks to Sasktel Curling Stadium for making this happen. And of course, RBC Dominion Securities for sponsoring the Western Showdown. So they're going to plan B, which is it tapped off and through. So they are shot rock, so they have to deal with this, but not wasting any time. We're going to see probably peel weight come down at this, or at least firm normal. And all she has to do is make that red rock disappear. So pretty standard shot in line here, and with a solid throw and a good result, they were going to get themselves into staying in the B side at 12:30 tomorrow. Rocks off out of the hands, looking pretty good. Light dusting, no big movements, solid shots. So Team Ackland with the victory over Team Jentsch, and now Team Daniela Jentsch will be going down to the C event. So now it's a winner out kind of situation. So you can tell those girls will get rested up tonight and be ready to battle tomorrow. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and hope you're enjoying the action. Thanks again, Sasktel Curling Stadium.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.